Hello everybody, this is Wise Exotics, your host Trevor speaking. I will be going over the setups individually this time, so this will be part 1, December and 2023 update, going over the tank setup. We'll go through each of the plants, how they're doing, and what's the plan. I've moved some plants around, shifted some of the older plants out finally. They're big enough that they can handle the open air setup, and they've been doing fine out there so far. Some changes and whatnot. So far, spotlight is still active up here. I still have the 2 lights that came originally over here. No differences. I did put the reflectors back here. They're just kind of haphazardly thrown there just to reflect some extra light, more or less. So we'll start in the left corner. This is one of my seed-grown Rafflegiana. This is White Exotica Cross Fukusu. I got this from Flore. This one is a weird one. This is a very complex hybrid, but if you've been following my channel, there's one that was super glued. It's the same cross as the one super glued. However, this is tissue culture, as it's its sibling that's in the open air. This one wasn't doing as well, so I stuck it back in here because it's recovering from getting barbecued once last year. It's been kind of struggling. Yeah. Cephalotus. I know I've quite a few people ask about the cephalotus. This is my black cephalotus. I trimmed some of the old pictures off. It's doing quite well, as you can see. Got a lot of non-carnivorous leaves coming, and carnivorous leaves are in the back, as you can tell. But it always does larger jet black pictures. If I can put it back now. Okay, next one here is Loei Vice Bashiana Andrani Expert Burgundy from Josh. It's got really good pictures going well. I think I see a stripe on the edge of this one, but the leaves are nice. They're kind of green with like a redishness. Over here that just popped this morning, this is my bicolatera. Most of the other pictures, as you can see, we're just starting to get a little coloration. So initially it was green with like a red lip, and then it started to get more redder. This is the first kind of full body coloring, starting to get squat. Maybe we'll get some fangs on it. This is a seed grown from Carnivero, Car 0268. Next to it, over here, are all the bongsos. So I put the little one back in because I honestly didn't have enough room outside, and it would just get covered. So I'll redo that experiment later. So this is bongso 3, 2, and 1. They're all varied size. I got these from Josh. These are all seed-grown bongso. Bongso is a relative to Spectabolus, Rigidifolia, and Naga. This is a complex hybrid from Mike's Oasis. Viking Amp Red Striped X Red Wing Hybrid. It's been doing well. It just opened its first picture with me. It's actually double the size prior, so it seems quite happy. Now we'll go down the line here. This is Borneo Exotics 3152 Raja. A fairly slow Nepenthes to grow. This specific clone that I have, I know that there are at least 4 to 5 different clones within this subtype. Some are female, some are male. This one I have loves the basil, and I know there's quite a few that have this same clone as mine, that they all do this basiling early. Below that is the Nepenthes God Raja, getting leaf jump after leaf jump. As you can see, my original leaf is there, then its second leaf, third leaf, and now its fourth leaf. Colors early, grows about twice as fast as the BE one. Its pictures are about the same size, if not larger, but the picture to leaf ratio is bigger so far. Going down the line here, this is Wrath XX Timvi X Northiana X Vicii X Epiphytica from such of Nepenthes. I like this one particularly because it has red leaves that are in this kind of cute little red teardrop shapes. It does pictures that are red with yellow lip, and you can already see some striking at the bottom. So this one will be pretty good as it goes. This one, as I usually ignore saying it, I'm going to actually say it today, Spectabolus truncata Bashiana Maxima X Mira X truncata X Loei. This is from Greenwood Exotics. It was his get well gift during my cancer treatment. Doing quite fine. Next to it over here is my Naga. This is a seed-grown one. Very nice large pitcher, darkening very well. It got repotted. It's very happy. Northiana. This is a seed-grown Northiana. I'm not too sure of the parentage of this because I got it from Flore, but it is a seed-grown from Flore collab. says it's a BCP, so it's whatever the BCP Northiana parents are, I guess. This one's pitchers are roughly 3 times larger than my other Northiana, and the leaves are actually smaller, so this is going to be a big one when it gets going. Nepenthes sumatrana, BE4540. Slow to recover. This is a very slow specimen. It doesn't grow that often, but it has been constantly throwing leaves out. It's been stable. Yeah, stable, hello. Northiana BE3357. This is clone 1. This is the red Northiana. As you can see, large. The picture ratio between these two is extreme. So there's that. Next to it over here, this is a complex hybrid for Carnivora, Rokobashiana, Sumatrana, Lowii VGI. This is CAR0239. It does use quite very nice little pictures. Stripes are very apparent. The inside can turn almost blue to purple when they're more mature on the specimens. So there's that. This is a newer one. Excuse me. This one's from Mike's Little Oasis. This is one of the ones I bought during Thanksgiving. Viking Ampullaris spotted, Viking Hookerina crossed with Black Miracle. This, I have a lot of expectation for this one. It's already got stripes inside very intensely, but as you can see, it's already red variegated. Usually my red variegated plants started out very green, and then over time the variegation showed. This is showing an intense red variegation to start, and it's even kind of ignoring the centerpiece, so I'm hoping this will darken almost black like Black Miracle. That's a potential and slash hope. Next to it is Boudica. This is a newer described Nepenthes species. This species is very recent. It's very well known for its capacity to grow these dark kind of purple pitchers with kind of a cream center. But what it's most noted for is it's the only Nepenthes to grow underground traps. This one has yet to do that. I can move this. I just noticed it had like a little embryo kind of getting burrowed in there. So I'll push that out. Have yet to see a pitcher develop in the root system. I do check and move it out. Very slow to grow Nepenthes, but it's a very steady one. It has yet to had any problems. It's, as I said, very consistent. Since I've had it, it's had nothing but leaf jumps. The original leaf sides, as you can see, were down here, and it's just been slowly exploding upward. Above it is another newly described species. This is Nepenthes cercea. This is an individual seedling clone, I believe, from BCP. Large pitch already developing on the back there. This was purchased from Plants That Eat, and as of the last batch, they no longer will do individual seedling clones. It's just going to be a randomly selected clone. This is a newer described that's broken from McFarlane, same as Eucalania. So there's McFarlane, Eucalania, and cercea. They all get kind of silver hairs on the lid. This one is a little shorter, kind of like a small brush of silver hair at the top. Not a really thick comb, but dark purple pictures, very nice and interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing those. Next to it, down here are the two Alpha-Marginata Reds. These are the BE version. I can't remember exactly which BE because I did not write it down. Doing quite well. Gets the white stripe. The little one on the left is a tissue culture from the main one. They're the same exact plant, basically. Above that here are two other specimens that I got from Mike. This is Nepenthes truncata campullata VGI, the Wave crossed with Song of Melancholy crossed with Clipiata. Ooh, say that 5 times as fast. Doing really well. Very bright colors. It reminds me a lot of the more, what do you call them? Slower to grow Nepenthes seem to get this kind of rubbery, waxy leaf. So, next to that is Nepenthes suratennis, X VGI striped. Already getting stripes on its newest picture over here. Single stripe, but looks nice. Suratennis is kind of interesting. So, couldn't find a pure species of that, so I got a hybrid. That's about it. Sorry about the cough. Still got it here. Before we get going, anybody is wondering what is in this pot, this is a seedling batch of Drosera that I got. These are Drosera that were given to me by Mike. This is bromine cross sesalifolia seeds. I'm assuming they're Drosera because he was telling me he was sending me Drosera seeds. but they could be something else. I'm not sure. Those of you who are more apt with Drosera, please give me an idea if these are Drosera or Pinkicula or something else. I was told that they might be a rare blend hybrid because a couple people I was asking about it hadn't heard of it, so we'll see how they turn out. So far, I've sowed them in this, I sprinkled them all around, and then I keep it moist. Nothing's bloomed, but it'll take a few weeks, 2 months to how I understand carnivorous plants growing, and it's winter time, so it might not germinate till spring. Okay. Up above here, this is Hamada AW1, which is a lumen. Come back very well from root rot and treatment I did, which is hydrogen peroxide and then root gel on the stump after cleaning off the hydrogen peroxide treatment. Above it here is the BE3975 that I bought really small, extra small. This is the Tempest Sissy. This is the red leaf Hamada up here. Already getting kind of redder leaf on its newest one. I've noticed the Tempest Sissy are more squat. The lumens are taller and more narrow, as you can kind of see even next to each other. So over here is the EW4 male lumen. So you can see very narrow opening, very squat opening. So very interesting. There is also a third type of Hamada I found. It's not as well known. I believe it starts with a K. Seen some of my subs were sending me pictures of them, and it was kind of, oh, that's a neat one. Haven't seen that one before. It's kind of the middle of the two. It's kind of a little more flared than the lumen, but more narrow than Tempest Sissy. I don't know if it gets red leaves though. So we'll go on down to the bottom here. This is lemon cherry. Starting to get little red speckles here, as I've noted here. This is a very slow to grow hybrid, very sensitive. I had 5 of these originally when I was seed growing them, from about that size. I lost all but this one, and this one's just slowly recovering. Very sensitive. Beautiful pictures, so as you can see, they get this yellow rim with red intense candy stripes that are very shiny, and a very tubby little red body. This is an extremely complex hybrid. I have run it down before, but I just call it lemon cherry. It's like Klombasa lemon, Klombasa something. It's a lot of Globasa clone mixed in, and then Black Miracle. And I've got a hypothesis that basically Black Miracle crossed with Viking or Globasa variant Mirabilis have a chance to have red variegation, because almost all the plants that I have that are those type of crosses. So that's my current hypothesis. Next to it here is my little Velosa. It's actually got its newest, largest pitcher and leaf, so I'm very proud of it. It's very slow to grow. This is an individual seedling. It's not a clone. This is a seed-grown one. Kuja Orchid and a bunch of the others here in America have Edward Sienna and Velosa seeds coming out like crazy this year, so I picked that up off of one of them. Let's say going up here. This is the new Macrophilia Clone T. Seems to have come in all right, even though it was ripped out of the thing. I talked to Flory Collab. They're going to try to do better with packaging the Akadama better, but basically this plant was ripped out by the roots and was stuck to tape, and all its Akadama was beating on it the entire time it was shipped. So not cool, and they're hopefully going to try to fix that. I never have luck lately with shipping plants from them, so I'm glad this one came. And this is Clone T specifically. It's Macrophilia Gungan Trusmatie Borneo. This is the redder one to my knowledge, so they get very red, intense pictures with kind of like a yellow flare down the front. So here's hoping that goes well. At least that's what I researched. Down here is my troublesome yet adorable little Macrophilia. That's my seed-grown one. This was grown in 2018. It's the only survivor of its seed batch, and it is insanely slow to grow. It had initially started to get more Macrophilia, Macrophilia-like leaves. I'm trying not to cough. But after a slug attack, it halted, and then it's slowly starting to pick up growth again. It had a little bit of almost what looked like root rot, so I gave it hydrogen peroxide treatment, the same as I did to the AW and my Singulana X Diabolica. And that took about a year for it to pop back, and those are pretty slow to grow. So my hope is the Macrophilia will grow slow, but so far it's not dead and it's still growing. And I gave it the rooting gel treatment or I thought would help. So here's hoping that that kicks off. Now down here, this is Vicii, Hose Mountain X Barrio. No stripes yet, but it's got some developing pictures. That's nice. This is from Carnivoro specifically. Next to it here is Vicii Big Mama Pink Candy Cane Clone 13, crossed with Vicii Azukin X Barrio. I picked that off of Mike. It's already got a leaf jump. It looks happy, so we're hoping this goes. This is Alp Supernatrinus or Raja Expert Burgundy. They are a natural hybrid that occurs. This one has been in the open air for a while, but it keeps having its own little difficulties, if I can get it. But it's a very slow to grow one, so a lot more little Raja hybrids were thrown in here. So next to it here is Raja X Rob Cantley, next closer to the Robs. It's been getting slow but steady leaf jumps, but it's, again, a slow to grow plant. This one has a nice backstory to it because apparently there was only one made during germination, and they have yet to repeat that, to my understanding. So the clone of that is kind of special because it was the only single plant to grow of the cross of Raja X Rob. Now, that's not to say that people can't try or succeed in it, but it was the original and one-of-a-kind original to start. So that was why it was kind of an interesting one to buy. So this is BE4019. Okie dokie. Moving up is my extremely vigorous Edward Sienna. I got it with its original leaf down here, and I trimmed off one leaf, its earliest leaf, which was in very bad condition. It's just now losing its second leaf that I had with it when I got it. That'll tell you this. That's about the size of its original pictures. So it's been steady leaf jump and pictures. Its newest pictures over in the corner developing, but it grows these very toothy, very dark red, so I call it Scarlet for now. Next to it over here is my favorite Nepenthes. This is Nepenthes diabolica, AW4, confirmed female. She's dropping a lot of little tendrils, a lot of leaves. She's very happy in the cooler temps. Did not like the summer as much, didn't produce as many pictures. She did like 1 or 2 pictures during the summer, but it looks like I'm going to have a bunch in the winter, so there's that to look forward to. Below it is Lowii. This is the BE3100 Lowii. Cute little red pictures. They have hair on the underside, a lot of stripes as they grow and develop. Down here is an unknown specimen. This was the, some thought it to be possibly Cingulana or Ovata crossed with Cingulana. We don't know. It hasn't pictured, but it's thinking about it, so we'll see how that develops. Mariliana. It was getting a little too sun-scorched as it was closer to the spotlight, I think, so I moved it over here. It might be too much water, too, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with it. But it's recovering on its newest leaf. Quite cute little tubby pictures. It's a larger to grow Nepenthes specimen. Next to it over here is obviously my truncata. It's developing its new picture quite nicely and rapidly, so we'll see how that goes. Up here is Robin Cantley. This is number 2 in my collection. This is the larger one. Developing a new pitch already. I'm just going to push it out there because I don't want to get a warped looking picture. This is Velosa X Hamada. This is BE4099. Very steady to grow Nepenthes. Slow to grow, but consistent leaf jumps as I've had it. Moving it into the tank setup, it's just gotten bigger. Next to it over here is the Mount Hafiz Nebularium. Seems to be developing well. No issues other than it wasn't happy initially. It's got up one picture there, developing another there. It looks like the basil might have died. So I do not see a growth tip or any progress, so maybe stress killed it. I'm not sure. The main plant seems fine. Next to it down there is my original Robin Cantley. Cute little red pictures, red-ish, purple kind of thing going on. But overall, doing very well. My main plan with the tank is to just keep it as is. I mainly keep this lid here. I used to seal it completely. I'm sorry for that. But I mainly keep it kind of like half-cocked, so there's a gap in the front corners and back that pushes air out and allows it to circulate while keeping majority of the humidity in. And as you can see, it's fairly nice. So that's the wrap-up of the tank setup. The only plant I'm still a little worried about is the macrophilia, but it seems to be weathering okay because it's been weeks since I've done the treatment, and it doesn't seem to have got worse. In fact, it's already kind of got a little pitcher jump / leaf jump on those tiny, tiny leaves. Trying to move the Morelliana away because it was getting a little scorched, I think. Still curious about this unknown plant, but it's tiny and cute, so why not? Let's see, the hybrid specimen of Glooey over there is also one that's a little bit of a worry, but other than that, all the other plants in the tank seem to be doing quite well and developing fine. If anybody has any questions about the tank ones as I've gone over them, please post in comments or chat with me. I'm on Instagram as Wise Exotic. As I said, always open to new chats and or sharing pics or even looking at your guys' pics. I enjoy looking at Nepenthes. So that's it. Trevor out. Please wait for the continued part 2, which will be the open air setup.